Hello and welcome back to the Pocketful of Poems project. This is the second day of this. We're going to be working on What Bugs Me today. That's page 1 of the actual project. The first page was the title page, which we did yesterday, and now this is page 1, which is the first set of poems we're going to be looking at. It's important that if you didn't finish Monday's assignment, that you go ahead and you do that, which is the title page. That must be completed first. So if you have not done that as of now, please stop this video, go back to Monday, finish Monday's assignment, and then come back here. All right, so on Tuesday, you're going to start by opening your template. So again, if you haven't done that already, you might want to pause and make sure you have it open because again, I'm going to be going back and forth for you to pause and go and work and whatnot as you come back. And then you're going to come back to this assignment here and pick up with the video so that you know what to do. Okay, so right now you can go ahead and pause, go open the template if you haven't already done so, and then come back. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to be working on the second page. And again, your first page should be completely formatted. So all the words should have been changed, the font, the size, the color, and it should have been spaced out in a way that looks nice. Now we're moving on to the next page. So you can see that we have it titled page 1, and then we have the title of the page, What Bugs Me. So if you think about numbers in a book, when you're reading a story or a textbook, the numbers are usually very small and they're kind of on the corner and they're usually black and they don't really stand out. So we're going to leave our page numbers exactly how they are. We're not going to change them at all. But because we have a title here, we are going to format this. So we're going to make this pretty large. It's the title of the page. We want it to stand out. So we're going to pick a font, a size, and a color. So I'm going to head and pick a font that I like, something that's going to stand out. I'm going to pick a size now. That's a pretty good size. That looks pretty good. I think I want to underline this and I want to make it let's see, maybe this burnt orangey red color. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. Go format the title of your page, What Bugs Me, font, size, and color, and then come back here. Okay, the next part of this is changing our poems here. So if you notice, each of these where it says click to type, we're going to actually highlight to type. This used to be in a different program called Microsoft Word, and you were able to just click and erase it, but it's a slightly different now. So for each of these, we're just going to, again, start all the way to the left in front of click and drag, and highlight all 3 words, click to type. And then we're going to replace it with something. So it says, it bugs me when my blank snores. So who in your family snores? It might be your mom or your dad or your brother or your grandpa or your dog or your imaginary friend. They can be silly. It's a poem. I'm going to say it bugs me when my dog snores, because I have a dog that used to snore really loud. And every time he would be in the living room, he'd snore so loud I couldn't hear the TV. So that was my biggest issue. So you're going to pick somebody who snores. And when my blank gives me chores, the same thing, I'm going to highlight and I'm going to do, let's see, when my mom gives me chores. And again, it could be whoever in your life makes you do some work around the house and makes you help clean up. It bugs me when my favorite blank is broke. How about when my favorite, for me, I'm going to say my favorite pen, because I have a favorite pen that I write with, and I always get upset when it's broken and I can't use it. But it could be your favorite game, your favorite book, anything that you want to put in there. It's your choice. This is your poem. And when my blank tells a blank. Now, this word here has to be a rhyming word, because if you notice, these are rhyming couplets. We have snores, chores, broke, and then we're going to need a word to rhyme with broke. So what do you think might go there? Think about it for a second. And when my blank tells a joke, that's what's going to rhyme, right? So now who tells jokes in your family that might bug you? Maybe they're like stupid jokes or annoying jokes, something that, you're like, oh. So I'm going to say my dad, dad jokes, right? And when my dad tells a joke, but maybe your sister tells really bad jokes, especially if you have a little baby brother and sister and they don't know how to tell jokes yet. So whoever you want to put in there. So what I want you to do is pause. I want you to go to your poem and I want you to fill in those 5 different spots now and then come back. Okay, now that you have your poem complete, we're going to go ahead and format the words. So just like we did at the title, we're going to highlight by clicking and dragging all the way to the end. So front to back, right? Top to the left, down to bottom to the right. And once the whole thing is highlighted, we're going to pick a font that we like. So maybe for this particular poem, I want something that's kind of clear and easy to read. Maybe I'll do a nice Comic Sans. And then I'm going to make it bigger. Let's say 18, not too big. We don't want to make it crazy big because we do have to do this other poem here. I'm actually going to enter down a couple just to give myself some space. And then again, if I want to change the color, I have to make sure it's highlighted first. Nothing will change if you don't highlight. Because remember, highlight's talking to your computer like, hey, computer, I need you to change this. So let's pick a color that I might like. So let's see. Let's go. I want a purpley color like that. And then I want to make it bold to stand out. So there I have my words formatted, font, size, and color. So go ahead and pause now and go format your first half of the poem now. Okay, now we're going to actually add a picture. So if you look, there's lots of different things I talk about. A snoring dog, my mom giving me chores, my favorite pen, somebody telling a joke. I'm going to pick one thing. I'm going to try to find maybe a sleeping dog picture. So the way that we find pictures, and actually what I should say first, is what we want to do first is put our cursor about where we want our picture to be. We can move our pictures later on, but if your cursor is all the way up here on page 1, and even if you're looking here and you say, okay, insert this picture, it's going to jump up to page 1 because it's going to go where your cursor is. So the first step is always clicking about where you want your picture to be. Then we're going to come up to insert, and we're going to insert an image. And what we want to do is we want to look for an image here on the web. So we're going to click search the web. And what I want to do is look for a sleeping dog. So you're going to search for whatever you think would fit best with your poem. And when I do sleeping dog, I'm going to hit space there. If I search for this, it's going to show me a lot of real dogs. And maybe you want a picture of a real dog, or maybe you want something that's kind of cartoony, something that looks like a little bit like a cartoon. So if we want a cartoon, we're going to look for the word clip art. Because if you search for anything with the word clip art next to it, it's going to give you more of a cartoony looking animal. So it depends on what type of picture you want. I'm going to go back to the real dogs. And I'm actually going to get real specific because my dog was a Rottweiler. So I'm going to look for a sleeping Rottweiler because that's exactly who used to always snore. He used to look like that when he was a baby. So let's see if I find one that I like. And I'm just going to scroll through and look for one. Oh, this looks just like him. So I'm going to click on it. And once I click on it, it puts a check mark there. And then I'm going to click insert. And that's going to pop into my screen. And see how big it is? That's fine. Leave it like that. So what I want you to do right now is pause the video, go back to yours, click where you want your picture, do insert, image, search, and find a picture that works for you. And then come back here. Okay, good. Now that you have your picture, we're going to talk about resizing the picture. So right now you can see this is pretty large. It's a little bit bigger than I want it to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is select it. And when you select it, you'll see that there's these six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, 8, 7, 8 boxes. These are called resizing handles. So if I ever say grab the resizing handle, that's what we're going to grab. Now you never want to grab from the top or the side. So watch, if I grab from the top here and just shrink it down, see how it kind of smushed my picture? Okay, and if I grab it from the side and push it in this way, it like smushed it that way. So this is called stretching and skewing. You don't want to stretch or skew your picture. Instead, we're going to grab from a corner. And most of the time, if you grab from a corner, it's going to hold it and keep it proportional. See how when I bring it in, it kind of shrinks all at once? And then when I let go, you can see the picture is still perfect. It's not stretched. It's not smushed together. It's still the perfect picture. It's just slightly smaller. So this is probably a good size for your picture. So what I would like you to do right now is to pause your video and go and shrink your picture by using the corner. You click and drag in from the corner and make it about this size and then come back. Go ahead and pause now. Okay, great. The last thing we need to do is to go ahead and wrap the text around. So see right now we're the words are above and below it. This is called text wrap. And what this is going to let us do is have the words wrap around the picture. So if I click this button, now see how the words have wrapped around, and I can actually click and drag my picture now wherever I want it to go. Now, don't put it right in the middle of your words, because see how hard now, it's very difficult to read this poem. It's hard to figure out what's where. So you either want to put it at the front or you want to put it at the end so all the words are together, or even if you just kind of put it kind of towards the bottom where it wraps around a little bit like that, or towards the top. Maybe I want to shrink it even a little bit more to make it look cool. So it wraps around like that. So it's your choice how you want to do it, but I do want you to use text wrap and place it wherever you think it looks best for your particular poem. Okay, so you can go ahead and take your picture, use your text wrap, and then resize it and move it so that it looks good on your page. Okay, that's all we're going to actually do today. So we're going to come back tomorrow. We'll do the second half of this page, which is another poem, but it's going to be done completely differently because we're actually going to be putting it into a Google Drawing first so that we're able to layer some things. And we'll do that tomorrow, and then we'll format all that, and that will be tomorrow's lesson, and that will complete just that first page. Okay? So once you have completed that today, you can just close your template. That's fine. It'll automatically save. Remember, everything Google automatically saves. So just by closing it, it goes. And then you can go ahead and log into typing and spend about, a good 10 minutes doing your typing lessons and practicing, really working on keeping your hands on those home row keys. As always, if you have any questions, you can just go ahead and leave me a post or a comment right here, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can, or send me an email, whichever works easier for you, I should say, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Good luck with everything.